Ahoy listeners! Welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Chuan, and our crew, Burke and Brock. It's a Sonko cast! Today we'll be reviewing chapter 10-15. What a turnaround chapter, am I right? Sanji gets his final fight. Chopper may save Zoro yet and be useful once again. Zoro fans, rejoice! Kinemon takes the final blow, or does he? And we leave off with an epic face down the whole fandom has been waiting for. Let's get right into it. Let's set sail! One Piece, chapter 10-15. Chained!
May I say, Mr. Senor Pink is looking quite adorable.
He's a cute guy.
I can see why the store could use him for a baby.
But there is so much sadness behind that cool shot there.
It's one of the saddest backstories.
Yeah, I think it levels with Robin's.
Nah.
That was a joke. I was completely joking.
Okay, good.
No, the only one who levels with Robin would probably be Foxy. But less on that.
It is too soon. It is too soon.
We're on the cover photo.
It's never too soon for Foxy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, Senor Pink, that's awesome.
Yeah, honestly, I thought we were going back into like stories from across the Grand Line.
Like I
this.
said, I don't think we're. I've said it on a previous
fan
episode. I don't think we're getting back to story cover art until after the arc. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, look, right after Senor Pink and that cool freaking stork, we see our protagonist drowning in the depths.
He's just swimming. Leave him be.
He is drowning in the depths.
He's got this, bro. He's got this.
We're betting on you, Luffy. He's like outside of the ring, going through the floor.
I'm gonna make so much money.
Straight to hell.
He's best. He's. I was gonna say
he's already escaped from hell. Remember?
He's possessed. He is now the star of The Conjuring 3. The devil made me do it.
He's sinking to the bottom of the sea, as the panel says. It does not look good for Luffy, but we'll get back to that at the end of the chapter when it looks a little bit better.
Poor Chopper.
Arg!
He's a pirate because he said arg.
Okay, yeah. I thought that was Queen's panel there, as he's biting into Chopper because Chopper's too busy screaming about Luffy and there's no way you actually lost, right? What are we supposed to do now?
It's kind of, Chopper, I feel like he's the one that always needs to be talked back up. Like he's the most like emotionally
he's also one of the most gullible too, along with Luffy.
Well, yeah.
And so he believes things the most easily as well.
I was about to say Usopp, but then I was like, no, he's a liar. He gets a view.
No, Usopp's smart. He's just a coward.
Yeah, he's just a coward.
No, and that arg, I'm pretty sure all those lines are Choppers. I think the arg is from him getting bitten.
He's worried about Luffy.
Either way,
he gets bitten, yells. There's no way he actually lost. I mean, yeah.
And I enjoy this. So I say I enjoy this after last chapter where I was not enjoying the desperation. But I actually do enjoy this desperation this chapter. But that's also because I know
what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straw Hat's been beaten. Does that mean we already lost? People just over that and Momonosuke.
Can I just say that first panel up there? I thought that was Zoro.
Yeah.
Anyone else feel like that?
Every time I look at that, it confuses me just a little bit.
Honestly, right now, since I have Zoro in my sights constantly.
Yeah.
Right now, I can only see him as like a cross-shaped set of bandages. If I don't see that, I don't see Zoro right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so here was one thing I was confused about. So these are how we get to this second panel there where I feel good as new after eating the dango Speed gave me. These are former Kaido members, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was wondering about, is that Apu?
No.
The one that's on the ground.
The one that's on the ground coughing.
No, that's not him.
Then who is that? Because I couldn't tell if that was one of our allies or our enemies.
That looks like an enemy he was just fighting.
So that guy's an ally, and then the guy's beating him up. No.
So the Gorilla Man and the other guy are allies because
allies.
I'm assuming that Speed gave them the dangos.
Speed is giving them dangos, and they're turning to Luffy's side. So those might have been enemies before, but now they're not.
Yeah, because and then this next panel, it's that guy a little bit closer. It's insane. All the best rookies were crushed after joining forces. It's not like they're weak. Kaido-sama's dominance is just overwhelming. So I'm assuming that it's obviously like he was Kaido's underling, so that's why he's saying it in that reverence kind of way.
Right. Well, and also you can tell by the capes they wear as well.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's interesting. Well, and this is where it gets a little confusing because we know Kinemon, he disguised all of the alliance, right?
Yeah.
With those coats, but then now that we're turning Kaido's allies on to themselves, they also have the actual coats. So I see why you were confused there.
Well,
it is a little confusing.
But I think
there's just a lot of turn coding happening. Whether it be because of Tama or Queen, telling them they're pieces of shit.
Well, and also, though, that's another thing, is the fact that the Dango affected them was probably another indicator that they were Kaido's, first off.
Yeah.
They
Because
were only shooting them in.
There weren't any of those man-made Zoans on their
smiles,
side to start with.
right.
Yeah. Except for Momonosuke, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And you could even say his is different because, and correct me if I'm wrong, his smile was actually a failed experiment of Vegapunk's. The rest of the smiles, those are all Caesar's creations.
Yeah.
So it's
far,
slightly different.
Understand.
Anyway, this is a great panel.
So we get Izo and Kawamatsu and Sanji with Zoro. Izo obviously seeing through the enemy's lies. That announcement was meant to hurt our morale. Indeed, we have no way of verifying it. And then Sanji, dumb bastards, they've all lost the will to fight anyway.
He just smacks the frogman. He smacks the frogman with Zoro, and Zoro's just sleeping.
Yeah.
Man, that's hilarious. You all saw the memes where like Sanji was Mihawk and like Zoro was his. This, I feel like Oda might have seen one or two of those and goes, yeah, okay, I'll give you a little bit of that. Like that is.
I mean, he was probably already going to do that.
This is just the beginning of my absolute excitement for this chapter because my boy is finally doing things. He's not getting beaten up by a woman. He's not entrapped. He's not entangled in a situation he can't go off of. He's finally getting to defend and fight for himself, which we always have to go through some shit before Sanji gets that. But once we're through the shit, Sanji gets that. So I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Just so everybody is aware, the only prediction I made off the record for this chapter was that it was going to be an Alex chapter. Alex was going to like this, and he was going to be gloating the entire time.
And just for guidelines, if it's an Alex chapter, that usually means a heavy content concerning Sanji, Marco, Law, or Admiral Kizaru.
Yee, buddy.
Those are his favorites.
Yee.
So.
Anyway,
yeah.
As they're making their way through, Queen is mocking everybody. How disappointing. You were all fired up earlier, so I thought I'd play along. Obviously, Chopper has been knocked down. Chopper-Emon-san.
That's so demoralizing of Chopper. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He felt like I don't know.
I thought Chopper was doing pretty darn well.
I mean, he was for
a bit.
Well, was he? That's the whole thing.
He was for who he was going up against.
Here is,
whatever. I don't care. Chopper's not in the weakling trio anymore, even though
Monster Point was never in the weakling trio.
Well, I know.
And the fact that he can control it after time skip means that, at least, at the very least when he's in that, and Kung Fu... Actually... No, you're just right. Chopper really just isn't in the weakling trio.
No.
All of his forms are great, and when he's not in those, he's doctoring up the people who can fight when he's not.
Yes.
No, Chopper's strong
Chopper
as heck.
is on the battlefront right now, not running away from Big Mom, not
he's
running away from Queen.
He's a field doctor, for sure.
Like, he'll get there, but obviously.
Then again, Usopp, his moment in Dressrosa, Nami's getting some really good stuff with Zeus.
He was on the back lines, and he sniped a random picture of his face at a girl.
He's
I'm not demoralizing what Usopp did. He did stuff while still being the coward he is.
Yeah. I don't think he'll ever not be a coward.
But here's the thing.
Here's
the thing about Usopp. His actions, no matter how cowardly they be, there have been at least like 3 in the history of One Piece that have literally saved the Straw Hat crew.
No, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like the entire crew.
Yeah.
Not many Straw Hats have instances where it's literally like a direct effect, like it'll immediately,
wrap everything up.
But
I don't think anyone calls them the weakling trio because they aren't important to the Straw
No,
Hats
it's
and don't
just
have amazing
literally
moments.
when it comes to battles, they're probably the ones who are more likely going to be running away from a fight.
Yeah, or if it was 1v1s between all the crew, they're definitely the three weakest. Because I don't think Nami or even Chopper Monster Point can really fight with any.
Well,
of the
here's
other
the
ones
thing.
above them.
Here's the thing too is, I think if they had more of a ruthless nature, any of them could take Robin's place. But Robin's a lot more ruthless. She's lived a lot more ruthless life.
Oh, absolutely.
Robin's dark as hell.
No, that's why.
I would
That's
never
why
want-
I can't put Robin with them. But I think if they had the same like tendencies,
Yeah.
they could easily be at Robin's level.
She's the only Straw Hat that we've seen literally break a spine in so many places.
Oh,
with
several
Fandom.
spines.
But specifically Spondums because of what he put her through. I mean,
yeah, but he deserved it.
So like,
Everyone
but
wanted
like
that to
her
happen.
ability to do that now that she has giant hands, dude. Like, I don't feel like there's any one giant she cannot absolutely run
For
if
sure.
she needs to.
No, she pulls a Luffy sometimes, and she could literally punch a giant. in the
Brooke's
face.
got ice powers. That's just cool. Frankie always has another contraption. Yeah, I just in terms of fighting power,
They all got their thing.
they get the most fights, and they have a lot of power. Just enough so that it's not enough to overwhelm the monster trio. Which,
Oh look, one of my least favorite characters comes back for a moment. Coo, when the general falls after the pawns.
All the pawns lose their
all the
composure.
pawns lose their composure. Also, I have to just admit, I just kind of like read his laugh as like Cartman, like coo, I'm the king, friend.
he is probably
Piroin. This is bad. He launched another volley of arrows. Candy shower. It's no use. There's nowhere to take cover. Please have mercy. We're gonna die.
Look, Rock, I understand why you say that he
what?
has that Parasparrow is like strong. I get what you're saying.
Well, I
when
mean,
you say that. I just the way he fights is. I don't want to call him smart, but he's not doing these 1v1
He's a
things.
hit and run guy.
Well, he's just AoE. He's just dealing the most amount of damage.
Here's the thing you got to realize.
Staying out of range.
Here's the thing you got to realize about anyone who is on a Yonko's crew, just on a Yonko's crew in general, for one, and on a crew of any of the top pirates in the world.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people don't take this into account. The fact that this world has billions, maybe even trillions of inhabitants, and every single member, like fighting member of like the top crews, whether it be in the Navy or the pirates, they're in that 1% of the top fighters in the world. There's different levels of it. Like Luffy, I firmly believe that from the get-go, he was already in the top 1%. He was just close to the bottom of it. Because you see it through all his fights, is that physically, he was one of the strongest people in the entire show. You know, like when he fought against like Crocodile or people like that, he took away their powers, he kicked their asses. So that's why, even though by comparison to someone like Sanji or Zoro or Luffy, you know, Parasparrow doesn't seem that strong, there are still trillions of people he could easily beat. And also, we can't discount the fact that he still gave the Straw Hats a lot of trouble back in. And you gotta understand, I hate him. I despise him.
We're
with
all in the
passion.
same boat there. He has a very powerful power, and he is a stronger mind than I would say
And
some of the others.
And he uses the power effectively.
He very much. Ryan's not here this week, but I feel like he uses his power like Ryan would have someone in his campaign use the power. Just very ruthlessly, very darkly, without any remorse or concern for what could happen to them.
Oh, for sure.
He's looking for the easiest way to like end them, and
which is honestly fitting for his character.
no, that's why we hate him.
And I'm trying to work through this for you, Alex.
Oh, I know. This is my moment, but I wanted to
we're coming
tease
up,
up
we're
to it
coming
a little
up
bit.
to your moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Parasparrow does a 300 moment here with all these friggin' arrows flying at our
Gonna fight the shade.
We're gonna fight in the shade. You're gonna die too, Queen says, you cowardly monster, as his dagger teeth become even more pin-pricky.
That's not a herbivore.
Yeah, not at all.
Paleontologists are angry about that.
At this point, you just look like tender venison.
Mean, unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. Chopper looking like a beat-up deer that's been shot, and he's gonna
run over a few times.
He's looking like tender venison. Let's be real.
Exactly.
So wrong.
I hate it. It's wrong. He is
but
not.
It's so right.
He is not emergency food. Damn it.
No, he is not.
Anyway, then we get an attack I haven't seen in quite some time. Diable Jambe. And here comes out of nowhere Sanji
And
with
Zoro.
and Zoro by default with a nice flame kick to the side of Queen's face, breaking some of those needle daggers. I didn't notice that the first time, but he broke some of the extensions in Queen's teeth.
And a new attack right after that.
Rotisserie.
Real quick, before we continue on with that scene,
What's up?
I want to point out that, I don't think Zoro would have been like sleeping with Sanji carrying him if he didn't like completely trust him.
No, for sure. No,
I think that's a really cool little detail thinking about when it's like, yeah, they fight all the time, but let's be real, they would trust their lives with each other.
Absolutely.
Yes, in these moments you can't really have that argue. Like the joke kind of fades away in these moments. You actually have trust between the two.
Yeah.
Unspoken as it may
They're still going to be giving each
they're
other
what we call
shit
they're
the whole
what
time.
we call
yes,
tsundere.
if he was awake, yes.
They're tsundere.
You could have kicked him lower. You could have kicked him higher.
I would have sliced his neck off if it were me.
Don't talk in your sleep. But no, we just get an intensely cool moment where Sanji, and there's some hockey in that kick because freaking Queen is reeling. His teeth are broken. He just starts spinning like a rotisserie chicken.
I was going to say rotisserie strike is the name of the attack as he spins the brontosaurus neck around in a circle.
And it's on fire!
And it's on fire, and the samurai below, he's deflecting the arrows. He makes a makeshift umbrella for all of the...
Alex, is that a pencil in your pocket, or are you just happy to see Sanji?
I'm happy to see Sanji. I am very happy.
And then I get a nice moment on top of this.
I think we all do.
Hey, wait a minute, says Sparrow as he is
flying. And he looks a lot like a skinny Lickitung there.
Yeah, dude,
Oh
his
my
tongue
God,
is
yeah.
out, dude.
A skinny Lickitung with Jack Skellington Hills on his shoes.
I don't even know what hit him. If it was the head,
literally
or
think
if
it was just the head of Queen.
Either way, it was going really fast and it hurt.
I hope it was enough to knock him out because I'm over it.
I hope he lands at Nekomamushi's feet and just gets mauled next chapter. Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because he coming. The cat is
Oh
coming.
Lord, he coming.
Although
Anyway.
this might be a good reason to send him outside and deal with some Sulong forms again.
Might be.
So,
can I highlight this bit because I really like this moment at the end of that rotisserie chicken. You get Perlin, you get him knocked, the arrows, everyone's saved. Sanji says, "You did good, Chopper. You really pulled through." Ooh, just acknowledging Chopper.
So
Did you just call it rotisserie chicken?
It basically
rotisserie strike.
No, I know, but
I actually want to highlight something, and I saw it earlier today on Reddit. Somebody pointed out that in Annie's Lobby, back when it was actually being like published in the manga.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear that this is the case. I want to say it was chapter something or other where he gets beat by Khalifa, obviously.
Yeah. It's not.
And 10 chapters later, Sanji is set free, and eventually he is able to save Usopp from Jabra.
Yeah.
And he does the same thing.
Yes.
That he says, Usopp, do what you need to do. Like, obviously along those lines. Like, you're doing what you can, and that's all that matters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody pointed out, I want to say it was 10-5, that he was kidnapped by Black Maria.
Mm-hmm.
and then with 10 chapters later, he comes to Chopper's rescue and gives him a pep talk to get him back in the fight. So,
I would love it if that was true. I don't know, but that sounds...
I want to say it was, but I can
That's
double
incredibly
check that.
thematic. And then
And I love Chopper's response.
You know, Sanji, Luffy is... just don't cry, you idiot. Oh, like, Sanji has such belief in his captain, much like Zoro, but he is not afraid to come down hard and be like, look, that's just not the way
Well, and
this
it's
is.
the exact same moment as Law with Doflamingo. The Straw Hats have always made so many things happen. We've seen this happen countless times before. Remember?
Sanji is all of the fans. Sanji is you, Brock. Oh, no. I mean, he gets knocked down twice, but he comes right back.
Oh, for sure.
That's Sanji right now.
That's yeah.
And look how he's killing.
That's everybody. All the that's how all the Strahds would react, except for what we know is the weak trio.
Basically, yeah.
And even in some cases, Nami doesn't get that.
There are certain people who, and like you said, Chopper's the most gullible. And I mean, it's literally the one moment that makes me dislike Chopper is obviously right after the 2-year time skip where he gets stuck with the fake Straw
and
Hats.
he's like, you guys.
That one always annoys me, but it makes sense within his character because he is such a gullible person.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense in this moment that Chopper might need a little bit of a pep talk just to be like, listen, remember all the shit we've gone through? We've always come out on top.
Yeah.
I believe that Luffy will
This
win.
is Luffy we're talking about.
Also, do you guys, and this might be because we're reading scans, the Sunday stuff hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We go off with scans. There's a word bubble there that doesn't have anything in it. Don't cry, you with it right underneath.
Oh, I see fish in that one. He's putting out his cigarette or lighting it.
Yeah, it's a fish. He's just.
Oh, it's not a.
Yeah, no, I see what you're talking about. Yours, it's blank. On mine, it's.
Yeah, mine says.
If you want to see it,
It's a sound effect.
Yeah,
Well,
it just happened on yours for some reason.
that's
weird.
cool for me. Anyway, all those miracles. Oh, I just love this speech, bro.
I love
all those miracles. I'll leave this lug to you. Kick Zoro over. If he recovers, he'll be worth 10 men.
More like 2,000.
Which, if I recall, I think that's a callback to a moment back on Zoe where I think Nami or somebody, Nami or Luffy said something about Sanji being worth 1,000 men, and Zoro shoots back, well, if he's worth 1,000, I'm worth 2,000.
Yeah. Constantly upstage each other.
Just always trying to upstage you. Huh? What is that? Zoro?
Yeah, Chopper gets Zoro there.
I wanted Chopper to have a moment of sass here and just be like, who did this awful bandage job?
You know what's funny? I'm rewatching through Punk Hazard, and Sanji actually is a doctor in Punk Hazard because Chopper goes in his body, and he sees, and Chopper as Sanji sees Frankie as Chopper beat up after that whole fight where he like took the rumble ball and completely lost his mind and got really hurt. And so you see Sanji in that moment like wrapping up Chopper's body, which is Chopper doing it. I'm like, oh. Sanji is a doctor. And so this is a really huge callback for me to go, that's fun.
That's funny.
Anyway, leave the dino to me. And this is cool, because we did get a little indication of this a number of chapters back where Queen was talking about how Judge's brat, right, is on the Straw Hats crew. So there's some connection between Queen and the Vinsmokes that's interesting. Yeah. So I'm actually really pumped for this fight. I take back what I said about this being Frankie's fight because they're both techie. Because, think about it, Sanji himself is the Vinsmokes technology versus Queen.
Well, he's also got his suit, which is...
Yeah, right. We'll see if the suit comes out.
Ultimately what it came down to is this is getting us closer, and this is why I'm also kind of hyped for the fact that he's leaving Zoro with Chopper, is I think we're going to start getting back to our normal 1v1s with at least Sanji versus Queen. I think Zoro will eventually be back up on his feet against King.
No one's better than King.
Well,
where's King?
Technically, Marco's holding King off.
I know. We keep getting panels.
But I don't know if he's going to be the one to finish.
Clearly, he's been holding him off just fine.
Yeah, he's been holding him off just fine. I think Zoro will be the one to help take the final blow off on King, and then Luffy will obviously be back to finish off Kaido.
Because here's what's interesting. King is a swordsman. Okay? King literally has a gigantic-ass sword. The only time I've seen it drawn and used... Kaido took it from him and cut off Orochi's head and then gave it back. That's the only time I've ever seen King's sword drawn.
About that.
So this swordsman first mate to Kaido, King, wildfire.
We have those moments.
Nothing.
That was the whole thing with...
Actually, wait. I take that back. He did cut off Marco's wing, and then Marco redirected his wing back at King and blew him into a wall. Never mind. He has used his sword once to cut off a wing that didn't actually cut off a wing. And
it doesn't necessarily mean that he needs to be a traditional swordsman. I mean, that was the whole thing with Das Bones, Mr. One, back in Alabasta.
Well,
it's like, I'm not actually a swordsman, I'm just a middleman.
I am a sword.
I'm literally
Well, and also, you can go back to someone who's even more similar to King. Go back to Ohm, one of the Sky Priests.
Oh, sure.
Who Zoro fought against with a 0% survival rate. He had a sword, but he wasn't actually like a swordsman. It was part of his trial.
And he had a dog that boxed. That if you just told the dog to stop, the dog would stop.
That was so funny.
Very funny moment, Skypea. No, but seriously, super cool moment. Zoro's over with Sanji, Zoro's over with Chopper. You've got the Vinsmoke weapon versus the guy who hates Vinsmoke technology. So there might be some interesting dialogue there.
And this is the actual thing that I was like, this is what we were kind of on the mark on, because the entire time we were all kind of pointing towards a Sanji versus Queen fight.
Yeah.
And like, so I'm interested to see.
I just like to meme on that Sanji wasn't going to get a fight.
Yeah. Just like I'd like to say that so many characters.
And also, but the reason I think the suit's going to come out is if the suit came out against a Flying Six member, it's going to come out against the Yonko Commander.
You're right. And it makes sense because, Queen has a problem with Vinsmoke technology. So maybe as a bit of a troll, or maybe just because he needs it. I don't think he needs it.
I think he's going to need it.
But if he does need it, it's going to piss off Queen even more that he's using Vinsmoke technology to fight him. And maybe that's what gives him the edge. I think Queen goes down pretty easy, but I think it's going to be a good fight. I hope we get it, Oda. I hope we get this fight, please. Please? Please? Thank you.
We will.
Okay.
They're not going to skip over a Yonko Commander fight.
I don't think so.
You'd say that.
Anyway.
How can we keep going? How can he keep going? His captain just died, but and this is sick. That's why I like them, Yui. Dude, we don't get whole Marco panels, and you know what? That's okay. A little is the best for me. He's alive.
Oh
He's on fire. I fucking love him. Dude, I'm sorry. Look, my favorite character is out about doing things, and he's not dead.
I was going to give you that this panel was cool, but my God, can you not beat it to death?
It's a really sick panel. No, but can I be real, though? I thought that Perospero was actually going to be a really big threat to Marco because he's dealing with King. I thought he would shoot him in the back. I think there'd be some scary stuff there. I am so fine now. So fine. Anyway, Brock, why don't you take this next? Or do you want to descend into darkness?
I'll descend into darkness. It's fine.
Sounds good.
Castle interior, first floor attic. We see the silhouette of Kaido after a piece of the roof has collapsed in. I'm assuming that's where he came in from.
Well, I imagine he hit all of them. Well, he hit Kinemon and it broke down.
That also is possible. And we see the body of Kiku and Kanjuro, as well as a twitching corpse of Kinemon. Obviously, he's not a corpse yet, but...
twitching more than page one was?
He's twitching more than page one was. Before I continue into the next part, I legitimately think both Kiku and Kanjuro are dead. I'm putting that out there right now. I believe that those two are dead. Or dying. Mm-hmm. For sure in Kiku's part.
They didn't even get twitches.
For my part, I don't mind, but my money, I think anyways. No.
Don't you quote Donkey at me.
Love you, Donkey.
On my part, I don't assume I don't think anyone's dead until it's confirmed at the end of this.
I mean, yes.
End of the
I'm
arc.
putting my money on Kiku and Kanjuro will both be dead.
I do think they're the most likely.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think, with One Piece, you never know.
However, as we go forward, we see Momonosuke crying over Shinobu's shoulder. I always just want to call her Shinobi because it's just like that's
because she's the Shinobi.
That's what her name
Shinobu
is.
the Shinobi.
Obviously she's actually a kunoichi, but yeah.
She also uses the Rasengan, I heard.
Shut up. All of a sudden, a feeble stab attempt comes from Kinemon, and Kaido looks down, and it's clearly Kinemon trying to get his last attacks in.
Flashback
territory. And I actually really enjoy this flashback a lot. I'm to call you father? Yes, we must hide your relation to Odin-sama. Hey, Momonosuke-sama, father, stop saying Sama. Forgive me. Pull yourself together, father. Maybe we should switch roles. Momonosuke. Yes.
Back our last podcast, I actually had made like a comparison. That was more on the spot than I thought it was. Where I had actually said that Kinemon thinks of Momo as an actual son.
Yeah.
And I think this, without words, with words, but like indirectly confirms that.
Yeah.
And this was like heart-wrenching.
This was very heart-wrenching.
I mean, you have to think about, when they moved forward in time, Momo had already lost both of his parents in the past. Now he's 20 years in the future. All he has are,
surrogates.
Kanjuro and Kinemon, really, at that point. And, Kanjuro gets lost, Momonosuke gets taken, Kinemon goes and saves him in Punk Hazard. That is his father figure. Because I don't even say figure, that is his father.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think the act stopped being an act a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were legit.
Which makes the rest of this so much harder. God, you love a well-placed flashback.
Yeah, and that works. For those of you at home, I'm not going to say I'm the most emotional person here because I'm sure Brock has moments like these too. But this chapter hit me a lot, and this was the first moment for sure, like where I was actually tearing up just because, for a long time when the whole ruse was Kinemon pretending to be Momonosuke's father, I bought it. I bought the love.
Same
I bought the absolute fatherly love and desire to protect his son that Kinemon was portraying.
I think you bought it because it was
I bought it
real.
because it was real, because he does care for him as he would a son, but it became even more so because of what they had to deal with after this 20-year jump.
And let's be real, Momonosuke's family wasn't just his parents and his sister. It was all
of the retainers.
All the retainers were basically their family.
Yep.
So it really isn't that big of a jump in the first place.
So this is a very well-timed flashback to this next moment. What's the point in buying time? What's the point in trying to run as Kaido brings down a sword? Please escape, Momonosuke-sama, thinks Kinemon as he's stabbing into Kaido's leg. Keep running, Shinobu, as Momonosuke's crying over her shoulder, and we see the dagger coming down, and we see it come right through Kinemon's gut.
That's blood, not Konkurosaki.
That is not blood, and it is not paint.
Nope.
It's not easy, but sometimes you have to accept defeat. Embrace your honorable death like a true samurai.
Honestly, I do not hate that moment.
It's
gut-wrenching?
It's gut-wrenching, but I almost respect Kaido's mindset here. Because, from Kaido's perspective, obviously he's getting cocky about this, and I think he's going to eventually be beaten. But in this moment, it's like, I've beaten you. Go down.
Yeah.
Take it. When I go down, I'm going to take it. That's what I've been wanting my entire life. From Kaido's perspective, I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
He's a strange antagonist because,
it's so weird because I want to respect him so much, and at the same time, I want to hate him so much.
But you can't pick one.
You can't.
Each chapter he changes.
He's the epitome of the honorable warrior, where he frowns upon the weak, but he respects those who fight to the last.
And he certainly will not give you mercy either.
Yeah.
He's going to give you an end. Which is what he's given to Kinemon.
If you're going to keep doing what Kinemon's doing here, he's going to give it to you. And now, here's my hot take after saying that Kiku and Kanjuro, I think, will be dead. I don't think Kinemon will be dead after this. It is a very bad wound, but I think if any of the Scabbards is going to live to see Wano's glory, whatever, revealed, renewed...
He's still got a wife waiting for him, too.
No, I thought Suru was dead because they burned down Okabure town.
But they didn't show it, let's be real.
They didn't show it, but...
I doubt they're actually dead.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's my hot take.
Yeah. I know Alex disagrees with me on this.
I'll throw out the fact, look, if you look at the entirety of Wano, all of the retainers have been called ghosts, right?
the retainers of Odin coming back after all this time, recollecting. They're not named as such. They're just the ghosts of Wano's past, its future, et cetera, but they're never, they're never these physical people to anyone. And I just think the running theme there is that, the very beginning of Wano, we see their graves first, not all of them. I just think thematically it makes a lot of sense that, they will see Wano's borders open, I think, along with Odin and Toki in the afterlife, very much what, Kiku was saying. So
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that I have to kill off all the scabbards because there's a few that I really frickin' like, and it's gonna hurt. But if that's the kind of sacrifice it takes to defeat two Yonko that are attempting to destroy the Flower Capital and essentially end Wano's ability to be free, I think that's a small price to pay for Wano to be open. And I think the scabbards giving their lives for different moments, I think makes a lot of sense. Now, I think Kinemon's death here is weird, unless Momo gets away with Shinobu, which very clearly Kaido's saying they're not. Which we don't actually get an ending to that this chapter. Next chapter we might get more. We might not. But thus far, with Ashura Doji's death, Kiku and Kondro's death, I felt all those were pretty final and pretty powerful moments.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it'd be weird if Kiku got back up and so did Kondro and then started fighting again. So I agree with you there. They definitely, their stories are...
They should either be dead or definitely knocked out for the rest of the battle if they are alive.
Kinemon, I think, can keep bothering Kaido,
I don't think he's going to bother Kaido. I think if Kinemon is alive after this, which, like I said, big if, I'm putting my money on he will be, but I think he's done.
Yeah.
I think this time he's done.
Unless that shadow comes back.
Sure.
Whoever that shadow...
Maybe.
But a second round of healing, I feel like, is overusing whoever that is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Even if that shadow comes back and heals him, I don't think it'll be to the point.
That first round of healing, their injuries were not nearly as bad as they are this time.
What? Come on.
Not compared to now.
Kiku lost an arm.
Yeah, she lost an arm, but now we think she's dead.
They were all done.
Yeah.
If not for that shadow,
No. They could still move back then, though.
No, they were all out, weren't they?
No, they could still move. They were still conscious.
If I remember, they were
knocked out.
They were completely
okay,
out.
But here's the only reason
I
don't think that they were near death.
I think they were.
I don't think so.
I think they were all dead. They were essentially near death around Kaido.
I think the danger to them was the fact that something was coming towards them, but that person woke them up.
The reason they got to live was because Law roomed them out of there, all into that storeroom.
Well, yeah.
They weren't getting back up except for that
But I don't think they
shadow.
would have died from their injuries.
I disagree there.
Well, then you're wrong.
Well,
anyways.
It's okay to disagree on these different points.
Yeah.
I think that first round of hearing makes sense. A lot of them get this second win so they can go out and, have these final moments. If they are final, we'll see. Kinemon here is definitely out for a while. Now, I might be wrong next chapter. He might get right back. I don't know.
For sure.
I thought he was done after last chapter. We, come into this world as a pair of legs, out of this world a pair of legs, which was a great comment. Dang it, Oda.
I just enjoyed making a meme out of it. That's all.
But so no. I think all the scabbards go. I think they all get epic moments. That's where I'm going to put my hot take. Brock?
My hot take.
All the scabbards.
I honestly, until it starts to become a trend, I will think that unless it's made supremely clear in both physically, both in terms of how and what's said, that the person is not dead. And right, so just because, like, here's the thing with like Pedro, and other ones like him, it was said he's dead. Literally, it was said. Like, it had to be said that he was dead. And that's a common thing, too, is we don't know it's the truth until it's stated.
Like an announcer says
like the same with, like Jinbei, him becoming a Straw Hat, he wasn't truly a Straw Hat until it announced him as the helmsman of the Straw
panel.
Hats.
Sure.
And that's why I have to see their graves at the end of this to know that they're really dead.
So you're saying trend. So one more needs to die or be
I
taken
don't.
out.
And here's the thing: I don't believe any. Not that. I think they're more. I think their deaths are more likely this time than in other arcs. But I'm still not convinced they're dead. Just off of One Piece's track record of
Sure.
things that would kill normal people. Don't kill these guys.
And you're really right. That's the whole thing Sanji said just a few panels beforehand. Miracles and
and also here's the
time
thing.
and time again.
It's such an anime about hope and like second chances and like getting the chance to save everyone, that it would seem to me anyway a waste to kill these people off after making them a thing for so long.
I know, yeah.
You know, because I feel like they have so much more to offer Luffy later on when it comes to the final battle.
I think Wano does.
Wano does, but Wano's not much without them right now.
A united Wano might be.
But,
I mean,
but they need the forces to be united.
You said yourself a few podcasts ago when I was talking about how Big Mom is so powerful, right?
Yeah.
No one besides Zoro or Luffy plus people are going to beat her, right? I thought you take those out of the equation, the entire island is Dunsky's. You said you weren't. You think a big enough force could take down a single Big Mom?
Oh, for sure, but
So
they still have strong enough warriors in the force.
And so I was saying,
I don't think without the Akazaya 9, I don't think that force exists in Wano.
And that's what I was telling you before we even got
because
into
anybody
the podcast
anybody who's at that level is on Orochi's side, in my opinion.
now.
But they sold him out. I don't think they're going to trust them after they win. I don't think it's going to be a big old like, oh, bald, long-eared uncle of Enel. I think you're welcome back. You didn't sell us out for no good reason.
Right.
You know, I can't see that.
I think
happening.
it's. I mean, I think.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I love about One Piece is usually the bad guys are made clear. There isn't this thing like, oh, he's got a heart-wrenching backstory. Senor Pink, obviously, he's a different like in terms of that, but he's an outlier.
I'd say even Contro's backstory is.
Oh no, for sure.
Not such a bad
for sure,
antagonist.
but the point is, here's the thing: like at this point, he's a guy who's living to fuck people over.
Yeah,
that's just kind of how he's living. Like no matter how tragic his backstory was, millions of other people in this world have had the same backstory, and they turned out much more nobler.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, preference. All scabbards live for you.
All the time. I'm the guy. Here's the thing. If any of you are Mass Effect 2 players, I always make sure everyone lives at the end of the mission. You know, that's my thing.
Gotcha.
So I think if there's a possibility for it, I would love it. I'm definitely not discounting any deaths that happen so far.
Sure.
I'm not even discounting that they all die. I don't think Kinemon will die.
To be clear, we don't know of any deaths yet.
No, for sure.
Really.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I am choosing of my own accord to say no one's dead, because here's the thing: even Condor could be alive. As weird as that sounds, as much as I love that end panel where he got sliced,
and he talks about you'd be my best friend.
But I think the same. I think it could be the same thing with like when Zoro did his final slice on Das Bones, and we find Das Bones later on in the prison, where it's possible for the enemy to come back too, but in a less involved way. You know, but like I said, these are all presumptions.
Sure.
You know, I just don't make any assumptions about death until I see the gravestone or it's stated officially that they're dead.
So Brock, everyone lives preference. Me, I don't like it the most, but everyone dies preference. Burke, some and some. All right, well that's pretty good. Ryan, you're not here.
All right, all of them die.
If you don't mind, can I also
absolutely jump right back in
because this was where about 3:00 this morning I was just bawling. So Ribbit shows one of the merry frogs. What a frog, Momonosuke-sama, why are you? As she sees he has it in his hands as she's carrying him away from the destruction and carnage behind them. I have to tell them. He's crying and he gets some thought bubble flashbacks. Momo, let everybody know. And then I wasn't aware that this could reverse work, but it does. And so he starts screaming into the Mary, "This is Kozuki Momonosuke." And people on the main floor start to hear him. "Momonosuke-sama, you're unharmed. Luffy entrusted me with a message. Our Lord is crying. Luffy Taro has already been," and then he gets immediately
chills.
Sorry. I love this.
Yeah.
"Luffy is still alive. He told me he would definitely make it back. So please keep fighting, even if it hurts. Even if you have nothing left. Sorry, this. I implore you to keep fighting until your very last breath.
And the panels and all the people
I love
we see.
these panels. I believe that's Yamato there above Fukuroju,
Fukukoji.
whatever his name is,
And Raizo.
Raizo, and Jinbei smiling, knowing that what Momonosuke says is true in his heart. He believes it in his heart.
Well, I don't think he ever had any doubts in the
I don't
first
think he
place.
ever had any doubts, but this just reassures him and everybody else on the Straw Hat's side.
And let's talk about...
And this moment here, I fucking love this kind of stuff. Momo let everybody know I'm still gonna beat Kaido.
And let's just talk about the fact that
Luffy
this is the most we're seeing of what I can assume to be... the most direct we've seen of communication by the voice of all things.
Yeah.
Which, how he's doing that...
Well,
do you think it's unconscious? Do you think it's something that do you think he's like he just wants them desperately to hear that he's not finished?
I think so. I think it's almost his... I almost feel like it's a Haki thing at this point.
Yeah, conquerors.
His will to win this fight is overwhelming the fact that he's currently down and out. But his will is still there.
What if it's a power that not even Kaido's heard of, and that's like...
I don't know.
That'd be super cool.
I would love that kind of stuff.
It's kind of like a Rock Lee moment when he was first fighting Gaara, and he drops the weights and he's hitting, and he's so fast, but he's still losing. He's still standing at the very end, clearly unconscious, clearly beaten, but he's still standing there ready to keep fighting. And
that's such an epic moment when a guy goes over and sees that Rock Lee is literally unconscious or barely conscious, but his instincts are still to keep fighting.
Well, here's the thing, too, is this has been a theme between him and Kaido since the beginning, where when Kaido first knocked him out, and he was glaring at him while unconscious.
Yeah.
And he unconsciously uses, conquerors to knock at the guys around him. And it's just like, this Kaido's like, he's had a reason to so far, but he's constantly almost underappreciating just how, or like, he appreciates it, but I don't think he realizes just how much there is to Monkey D. Luffy. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to find out by the end of this what it's like to fight a protagonist.
No, and so, the only thing that weirds me out about this moment, and it's the only thing that makes me wonder if this is the reality of this, is why was Momo's reaction, I guess because it was the first time Luffy would have ever done this. Because last chapter, his reaction was so, what is this, who are you? Like, it almost seemed like it was a malevolent force when he reacted that way, but I think it was literally just, he wasn't ready for Luffy to do something.
I'm sure Luffy was yelling at him with the voice of all things. It was kind of overpowering. I guess and I did mention pre-podcast that there was a moment in all of this that disappointed me. And it wasn't a bad moment. I love that it's Luffy and that he's going to come back and he's going to win the fucking fight. But it does make me sick, because we had some cool theories about, Sea Kings, and maybe, the Mermaid Princess Hirohoshi's there, or maybe something in the sky.
That's the thing. So
I love the crazy ideas.
Let's keep going here. Let me get past this part. So I implore you to keep fighting until your very last breath, because Luffy is going to win.
All the cheers.
Everybody has their resolve renewed. We see each of the Straw Hats reacting to this news. We even see Eustace Kid in there. We see King. We see Who's Who.
I just see
everybody
across this arc. You just see almost Kid several times admiring Luffy. And all of that.
Last chapter he called him a moron. He's like, I don't care about the guy. Look at him.
Here's the funny thing too. I think all the shit he gave Law for having faith in Luffy, I think he's falling into that same trap.
He's getting there.
He's going to be a lot more tsundere about it, I feel, but I think he's going to be right in that same boat with Law, and you're going to hear from Law later on, but it's like, this kid can make some weird shit happen.
So everybody starts rallying, don't give up. And Kaido catches up, are you satisfied, son of Odin? And he starts winding up for an attack, and Shinobu uses a jutsu. Juku no jutsu. And from what I understand of this paneling, it almost seems like what she did made a piece of Onigashima fall off that she and Momonosuke were on. Because so you see that screaming bubble there, and it looks like it's coming from that dot. You see what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
It almost seems like that's them falling.
Well, that might be. I think that is them falling. I think that's Momo screaming.
Okay.
Well, Kaido's pissed about it.
Kaido's pissed about it.
Because he obviously wasn't expecting it because of the exclamation points. Like, what the heck? And then she's the one that performed the jutsu.
Yep.
So it would make sense that Momo's the one screaming because he wasn't ready for that.
And now here comes another part that just adds to this moment. Hey, somebody is down here. What?
Nobody called at this table.
No, I think that's
Nobody
so cool,
called
though.
it at this
That's
table.
so cool because
I know.
we didn't think about it.
I did.
gosh.
Like, it was so obvious, honestly.
So obvious.
But it's also, at the same time, it just works. It works.
It works.
Two fucking podcasts ago, I said, "Where's Beppo? Where's
It
Jokingly.
works better than any of the ones we said.
Yeah, ours were wild, dude.
But I love this. Is it a person? Wait, isn't that Straw Hat? It's like we could hear his voice even though we're underwater. Yeah. Let's worry about that later. We've got to save him. Hurry, is he still alive?
So he
is sending out something. He is sending out like messages, shockwaves
Sexalicious waves,
from
baby.
his own willpower to get himself back up on Onigashima, back into the fight.
Captain Sexy.
Let's be clear. Like, he's glowing in the water. I don't know.
I don't know if that's just the way it appears, or if it's literally like a presence around his own body.
He shouldn't be glowing. I'm just put that out there. Why is he glowing?
Maybe he's a bioluminescent sort of forever.
Well, he's not. So
Maybe
it's got
something weird.
It might be a weird Conqueror's thing. I don't know, dude.
I don't know, man.
Color,
but
right?
All I have to say is I fucking love it.
It's fucking epic.
It's epic as hell. Even when he's down, he's doing things that are getting him back to the fight.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if anyone else is a doctor on that ship. I'm assuming they are.
I don't know.
But if there's a doctor on that sub, he's probably going to be out for a bit, but he's coming back.
As long as they can get him out of the water.
Just get him out of the water.
My question is, how does he get back to Onigashima?
Get him some meat. Dude, he just goes gear 4th on the surface and flies back up to it.
I mean, hell,
like,
he could probably just go
legitimately,
gear
when
2nd.
he is conscious, I'm not worried about how he gets back to Onigashima.
I just think it's got to be some epic way.
Well, I hope it's even cooler than Gear 4. Don't get me wrong.
Either way,
but
find a way
I
out.
don't think it's going to be like difficult.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: he doesn't even have to use Gear 4. He can just launch himself up there.
Maybe,
definitely
within reason.
There's a theory that I read. It's about that mountain that's in the center or like northeast of Wano. It's really
the flower capital
that's super tall.
Yeah,
that we've always mentioned.
That just looks like a really elongated upward Mount Fuji.
Yeah. And we've mentioned it, we've never gone there, but, you know, if it's the tallest mountain in Wano and there's going to be a floating island over the capital, maybe that's what Luffy climbs to shoot himself back up there?
I hope he doesn't get to that late, because
it'd be very Enel-like when he climbed that, the beanstalk.
No, it would be, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that's a little too close for
a little too far.
Well, he could get there.
The whole point is Onigashima. He's planning on smashing.
Let's be clear.
Capital.
He's not going to be there, 3 hours before he's planning on doing it. No. If it's going to be like that, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thing, whoever's driving that sub, I want to know their name and I want to know they're super cool looking, that masked dude.
Yeah.
I like that. I've never seen that crew member. I want to know more about them.
Yeah. And so we cut away from that, but thank God at least we have a rescue for Luffy on the way.
To the other Yonko!
To the other, what's happening? Big bro, he's alive, Tama says happily. Let's run straight to the stage, Nami. So everybody's kind of heading to the mid section from that part.
Now this is weird.
Yeah, it's good to hear Straw Hat's okay. What the? My Klimatek just spoke. So the easiest thing for this for me theorize wise is obviously she stuck the Klimatek into Hera's mouth, or rather into to give Zeus, who then was eaten by Hera, and I think he just absorbed himself into the Klimatek. I think that.
I mean, she's got essences.
She somehow grabbed the soul of Zeus, and now Zeus is the Klimatek.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's a matter of like
something like that.
Is that where we at?
Yeah, and also, here's the thing.
Is it Zeus or is it a new fucking guy?
I'm pretty sure it's Zeus.
Or is it Zoom? Is it the Klimatek with a soul?
Why are you talking like that?
I don't know, man. This is weird. Some weird shit.
Can you please just?
It'll never be weirder than the dog gun.
This is basically the dog gun.
No, I don't think anything will ever be weirder.
It's not a devil fruit, but there's something going on here.
I think just the fact that the dog gun was so weird was just.
And it shot exploding.
Also,
baseballs.
I already don't like the memes that are going to be associated with this. I don't.
Because it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
Anyway.
Alex needs to go to Horny Jail.
Horny
That's all I
episode!
have to say. Mama, what a pathetic bluff. This was over the moment he fell into the sea. And
which is so hypocritical, considering she herself fell into the sea not 100 chapters before
almost
this.
Fell into the sea.
No, she was in the sea.
She was not in the sea.
He was talking about the first time.
When she actually fell in the sea and came out with amnesia.
Yeah, but
Shut up.
She hates him. She wants him to die.
She's dumb.
Okay.
She can't remember shit.
And then a stanky leg shows up on top of a rock here. We've been collaborating for a while now, but honestly, when it comes to him, I've learned to never say never.
Okay, Justin fucking Bieber.
Whatever, fuck off. It's a great moment as we see Trafalgar D. Water Law come back into the fray.
To be fair, Law does have the best one-liners.
For sure.
He just does.
For sure. Trafalgar, did you come to get in my way? Settle down, Eustace, Don't you think we should play nice for now?
He's so cool. He's
He's great.
Why is he so
Kaido!
Oh yeah.
As a silhouette appears at the very tip top of Onigashima. Don't you mean Father Yamato? That bond has chained me for too long. I'm here to free myself.
Taking the initiative.
And glorious words. No break next week.
Oh, I love that bit. Love that bit. Love to see it.
So,
color panels.
I say,
beautiful color panels.
Updated thought on Big Mom. Oh, yeah. I was going to say that color spread on the scans of...
Don't you mean rotisserie chicken, Alex?
Rotisserie chicken strike.
Whatever you want to call it.
All I know is I want to see a return.
Also, not going to lie, that the friggin' nighttime panel of Kaido and Yamato is sick as hell.
You know what I just realized, guys? I feel really dumb for this.
Yeah, what's up?
When he did his rotisserie strike, he was making Queen move like a rotisserie. Mm-hmm. I never realized that. I thought it was just a food term, you know?
It is a food term, but
I know.
But it works because he was spinning it around to keep the heat on.
Exactly. So it was just like, man, I'm tired.
You
poor guy.
So here's my thought. I think if we're going for Yonko, both of them get beaten in this arc. I think the combined effort of Law and Kid, with maybe some reinforcements at some point if like somebody finishes a fight and has time to come up to this part. I think Big Mom can be beaten now. I think with that combined effort. Because now you've got Yamato fighting or about to fight Kaido. Mm-hmm. And I think Yamato will hold their own for a bit until Luffy comes back.
Let's be clear. Yamato has been beaten by Kaido before, but she has always been restrained in doing so, right?
Yeah.
She's always had those stupid
cuffs.
So now that she has those off, she might actually have a good chance.
To see what power she has, too.
I was going to say, we'll see what...
Dragonverse tiger?
I don't know.
She is.
I have no
Something
idea.
with sharp
I
teeth.
used to have a lot of T-shirts like that with the dragon versus the tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
That used to be a thing back in
You're
Spencer's.
such an
That was
otaku.
That was a thing.
That wasn't even an otaku
No,
thing.
it wasn't even a taku. That
Just-
was just like the random shirts, dude.
Oh, I do remember some of my random shirts.
Okay.
Weird times.
Don't be racist.
Well, I'm still an otaku.
I thought, well, yeah, so am I. That doesn't mean the shirt's
But yeah,
an
no,
otaku
that
dude.
moonlight scene is sick as hell.
Sick. Ugh.
Kaido doesn't look. He just looks so strong, bro. Why is Kaido so strong?
It's just because he's got a bajillion abs, bro.
Dude,
Fine.
I don't.
He's got abs for days.
Like, I
Man,
get it.
He's got abs for years.
I mean, if there's someone who can hold off. You know what? I was wrong. If Luffy, Zoro, Yamato.
What do you...
Those ones plus other people have chances to defeat Kaido or Big Mom.
Okay.
I think you're...
Yamato's got to be up there, right?
No, I think you're overestimating Kaido.
No.
Or underestimating?
No.
Oh, wait, sorry. I meant...
I'm saying
sorry, I
Yamato
thought-
I has the ability maybe
Okay,
to
sorry.
beat
I
Yamato.
thought you were saying that they'd have to be together to beat Kaido.
No, I think they all could use a little bit of help. I mean, clearly they need a little bit of
so
help
here-
at
He's
this
all been
moment.
doing damage to Kaido. Eventually, he's going to... Something's going to stick.
But let's be clear, I mean, 1v1's up with Kaido so far.
I'm going to pull a letter Kenny to you with the phrase, let's be clear, because, oh my god, you say that so much.
Okay, well, let's be clear though. So, Kaido has won all of his 1v1s up to this point. In fact, he's beaten all the supernovas up to this point. Like, he's walking around, he's
Yes.
fine. So, if we do beat him in this arc, is it truly a 1v1?
I would only say because of... Here's the thing. He's already got the years of... He's a veteran. Here's the thing. Anyways,
God.
That might get bleeped. Oh my god. Wait, you don't know our audience. We might have just lost 2 people.
I just said just kidding. Gosh.
Well,
Anyways.
we'll see what
Yeah, but you screamed over the just kidding.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What were you saying about the veteran?
No, I'm thinking... Well, here's the thing. Just about every single person that Luffy has fought
Sure. No.
has years and years of skill and experience on him. His ability to adapt and overcome is inhuman, and I think that's what will win.
No, he's our protagonist. He is. He's our protagonist. But I'd like him to win for a reason other than he's the protagonist.
Well, he learns from his fights. That's
I
the
know.
thing. Like, it's his fighting
But I
style.
want a cool win. I want a cool win.
He does win cool all the time.
I think he and Yamato for a bit, and then just him.
That's fine.
Unless, do you think Yamato gets completely destroyed too?
I don't know what happens. I need to know what she can do first.
Right. That's where I'm at. Does she has her club with her, doesn't she?
Well, I think she's... I don't know.
I'd love to see that club on another club. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a cool
Some
fight.
club on club action?
Yeah, you know it.
Go clubbing?
You know it. What do you think Law's strategy is with Big Mom here?
We're going to find out.
He's gonna work with Kid. Look. There's got to be a cool fusion attack there, right? Oda always has cool fusion attacks. Law plus Kid, right? There's got to be something fun there that we're not thinking of that's gonna be sick, right? Big Mom pulls out, all 3 of her souls, making that, Macer cannon thing, right? There's got to be something that Law and Kid can throw
Hot
together.
take. Law and Kid die.
Just so we're clear,
Don't turn into Alex.
page 1. Ulti? You heard from him yet?
They're sleeping.
Dead.
They're sleeping.
They're on a happy farm,
They're sleeping.
running through fields where they will be for
They
eternity.
join the rest of their dinosaur brethren.
No, but
Big Mom was the comet.
overall,
Yes.
a very good chapter for me. I know a very relieving chapter for you.
Yeah.
Incredibly relieving.
Emotional and relieving for me.
I just found it straight up sexy.
I'm looking at this color panel with the.
Yeah. You're rotisserie
No, but
chicken
he's holding
strike.
Zoro the whole
I
time.
know.
It's funny. It's just
funny as hell.
It's just funny, man. I'm really excited.
I knew.
Is anyone not concerned about Big Mom's ship?
Not right now.
Is no one concerned?
There's no point to be concerned about it until it shows up.
But it's around.
Nobody cares, bro.
Could we maybe drop Onigashima on the ship, and that's how we're no longer concerned about the ship?
That'd be funny. That'd be funny.
I don't think that's the intention.
We finally get our third, ship go down.
No smoothie fight.
Ship go brrr.
Oh man! How did no one guess Law's submarine?
Out of all of us, I'm amazed. We didn't.
It was just it was right in front of our faces, hidden in plain sight.
Because
Like
for some odd reason,
We jumped
in my stupid
Hiroshi
head,
first.
I thought the submarine was in like the koi pond inside of Onigashima or something.
Well, here's the thing, too. I think, at least in my case, we were associating a lot of Luffy's ways of getting back up with a really strong ally or something connected to the voice of all things.
Yeah.
We weren't thinking of something as like normal and like sensible. Because One Piece isn't
Because I
known
knew
for being
whatever
sensible.
Momonosuke had to say last chapter when that was happening was I was like, I'm pretty sure what he's saying because he needs to tell everybody. I think it's about Luffy and I think it's important.
Yeah.
So I was glad to see that, like, I didn't express it, but I was glad to see I was right in thinking that.
This is an example of how Oda disappoints me, but still leaves me extremely satisfied. I wanted something really cool, like what we were suggesting to be what he was hearing, this malevolent
So
force.
is that where you said you were kind of disappointed?
That's where my
Okay.
disappointment was, because I was like, there was all these really good ideas from this room and theories around it of what was coming to Wano, this lurking legend perhaps, or some powerful force coming to aid them, or something else. But it's just Luffy shining through, which leads to some really powerful fucking moments for all the crew and allies, and
Yeah.
it's great.
It was such a
It's
good
great.
moment.
It's great.
I don't even care that it's not friggin' Shirahoshi leading an army of Sea Kings.
That'd be cool.
I don't even care.
That's a ways off, I think.
I think so too.
I think
But-
that's fine with that.
That's 10 years from now.
When she's 26.
But she's twice, yeah.
Vanner Deckett's a piece of shit.
And when I'm 50. Just kidding.
Wow, you turned 50 fast.
There it is.
It's been 84 years.
Actually, it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
The fuck?
Man.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Solid friggin' chapter. I
Solid
can't
chapter.
wait for 1016.
No break.
No
That
break.
is very
What a
exciting.
relief. Please, one more. Just one more after that. Get us to 1017.
Yeah, Oda, you can have a break after that one. You can literally, it's cool. Unless you leave us on a
I mean,
cliffhanger.
granted,
Don't
thank,
leave us on...
thank you for not leaving me on a cliffhanger last week.
Mm-hmm.
I might have killed you.
Yeah.
And then I'd be on an eternal cliffhanger.
Oda, please keep yourself healthy. We'd love to see this to its end.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. Yep. What was the name of the Berserk editor?
I can't remember his name, but rest in peace, my dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace.
I never.
The whole anime community is with the...
I never really got into Berserk. It's not really my style, but I can definitely.
Oh, but I can absolutely respect your drive.
I'm
and
well
your
aware
story.
of how highly respected and highly loved the manga is.
Oda was friends with him, and I believe he did something.
Just for it's Kentaro Miura.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kintaro Miura.
So, okay.
Yeah. Shout out. Cool. Well, if there is nothing else, ladies and gents, 10/16 next Friday we'll have an episode Saturday, Sunday.
That's right, 10/16. Foxy's return.
Get out of here!
All right, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast, or the Sanko Podcast, if you will. What a wild ride for a chapter. Pretty sure Kinemon has saved his last Momonosuke, but we shall see. The Scabbards are dwindling, but the Straw Hats have hit their second win, except for the Straw Hat. He's drowning, but hey, gotta give it up for the subs, submarines, and subscribers. See you all next time in the Yonko Podcast, chapter review 10/16. No break next week. All right, boys, we're off.